Hey everyone! We are working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy the content and it is your first time here, please hit that subscribe button right now as we proceed. Before we get into this story, smash that like button and subscribe if you are not part of this channel yet, because what you are about to hear is one of the most extraordinary things happening in sports right now, and you are going to want to share this with every Filipino you know. California, hold on tight. Because Eala is coming to Indian Wells, and the state has absolutely no idea what is about to hit it. Let us start from the very beginning, because this story deserves to be told from the ground up. Eala, the 20-year-old Filipina tennis sensation, has officially entered the main draw of the 2026 BNP Paribas Open at Indian Wells, and she did not sneak in through a backdoor. No wild cards. No qualifiers. She earned her spot the hard way, through her ranking, which currently sits at a career-high number 31 in the entire world. That means she is seeded in a WTA 1000 tournament for the very first time in her life, which also means she gets a first-round bye and walks straight into the round of 64 fully rested, fully focused, and ready to cause absolute chaos in the California desert. Think about what that climb actually means. 1 year ago, Eala was ranked 137 in the world. 137. And then she went to Miami, came through qualifying as a wild card, and proceeded to beat Grand Slam champions and top 10 players one by one until she was standing in the semifinals of a WTA 1000 event with the entire Philippines watching and crying and jumping out of their seats. That run changed everything. From 137 to 31 in roughly 12 months. Dubai quarterfinals. Auckland semifinals. Abu Dhabi quarterfinals. A gold medal at the Southeast Asian Games. An Australian Open main draw debut. She has been collecting results like they are going out of fashion, and the tennis world has had no choice but to sit up, pay attention, and hand her a seated spot at one of the most prestigious events on the calendar. Now here is where things get truly wild. Before flying down to California, Eala made a stop in Oregon. Not for a practice tournament, not for a press conference. She went to the Nike World Headquarters in Beaverton, and what she found waiting for her there left her, and the entire internet, completely speechless. Her portraits were on display in the famous Nike tunnel. That tunnel. The one that features the greatest athletes Nike has ever partnered with across every sport in human history. And right there among those legends was a photograph of Eala with both hands pressed against her face, tears in her eyes, capturing the exact moment she realized she had just made the Miami semifinals. The caption chosen by Nike, a brand that does not waste words carelessly, reads simply, "History in full bloom." 3 words. And they say everything. But Nike did not stop there. Also mounted on that wall was a photograph of Eala taking a selfie with Filipino fans. Think about that for a second. A fan photo. At global headquarters. Because the people at Nike understand something that the broader tennis world is only now beginning to fully grasp. The Eala story is not just about one exceptional athlete. It is about an entire community that has been waiting its whole life for this moment and is showing up everywhere she plays to let the whole world know it. The sampaguita, the national flower of the Philippines, was woven into her visit too, displayed on the floor, featured on her custom Nike Air Rift sandals, embedded into the gifts she received. Nike is not just sponsoring a tennis player. They are celebrating a culture. And they reportedly just renewed that partnership for a deal valued at $75 million. $75 million. The brand knows exactly what it has. Now let us talk about what is happening on the ground in California, because the scale of it is something this sport has never encountered before. California is home to nearly 2 million Filipino Americans. 2 million. And from Los Angeles to San Diego to Daly City, the Filipino community has been mobilizing since the moment Eala's name appeared in the Indian Wells draw. Fan clubs are organizing group bookings. Entire sections of the stadium are being reserved by community organizations who want to recreate the wall of sound that turned Dubai into a Filipino celebration just a few weeks ago. Tournament directors are reportedly in a state of genuine shock at the ticket surge, with secondary market prices for sessions when Eala is expected to play already trading at double their face value. Double value. To put that in context, Indian Wells is called the fifth Grand Slam for a reason. The prize pool for 2026 exceeds $9 million. Every major name in women's tennis is in the field. Aryna Sabalenka, the world number 1. Iga Swiatek at number 2. Elena Rybakina. Coco Gauff. Jasmine Paolini. These are players who have spent years building the reputations and results that command premium ticket prices at a tournament of this magnitude. And yet right there in the middle of that list is a 20-year-old from the Philippines ranked 31st in the world who is generating more raw ticket demand from a single community than all of them combined. That is not a small statement. That is a complete inversion of the normal commercial logic of professional tennis. And it is happening in real time. Now let us talk about the draw itself, because the tennis gods clearly have a flair for the dramatic. Eala has landed in the quarter of the draw led by world number 4 Coco Gauff, the very player who handed her a 6-0, 6-2 masterclass in Dubai just weeks ago. The draw analysts are projecting a potential third-round rematch between the two of them in front of what promises to be the loudest crowd Indian Wells has ever seen for a match involving a player outside the top 10 seeds. And while Gauff may have dominated their last encounter, Eala is not the same player she was even 3 months ago. The trajectory here is undeniable. Former pros have already gone on record saying her drawing power in terms of crowd energy and cultural momentum has surpassed what even Gauff and Sabalenka bring to a venue. When Alison Riscommertrage compared Eala's Filipino fanbase to a Taylor Swift concert, people laughed. Then they saw Dubai. They stopped laughing very quickly. What makes Eala genuinely dangerous at Indian Wells is not just the crowd or the sponsorship money or the cultural wave she is riding. It is the preparation. She arrived in the United States weeks before the tournament begins. She is acclimatizing to the dry desert air. She is adjusting to the altitude that affects ball flight differently than anything she encountered in the Middle East or Oceania. She is resting. She is fresh. Last year in Miami she came through qualifying, meaning she played multiple extra matches under extreme pressure before even reaching the main draw. This time she walks in with her seeded status intact, having not played a match since Dubai, with 2 full weeks of recovery and preparation behind her. The Rafa Nadal Academy gave her 7 years of training in a culture of meticulous preparation, and it shows in every strategic decision she makes heading into a major event. The opposition is fierce. Nobody is pretending otherwise. Sabalenka at number 1 is one of the most dominant forces the women's game has ever produced. Swiatek is a 2-time Indian Wells champion. Gauff has been a fixture at the business end of these events for years. Rybakina brings a serve that can dismantle any opponent on any given day. Eala is going to have to play some of the best tennis of her career if she wants to reach the final weekend. But here is the thing about Alex Eala that is different from what it used to be. The longer she is at a tournament, the more dangerous she becomes. The crowd gets louder with every round. The momentum builds. The opponents start to feel the weight of playing against not just one person but an entire nation that has bought plane tickets and booked hotel rooms and reserved stadium sections to be there with her. Kim Clijsters once said that Eala has to deal with the life of being like Michael Jordan in the Philippines. Kim Clijsters said that. And now Michael Jordan is coming to California, except instead of Chicago she is representing an archipelago of 110 million people, and the Filipino diaspora of the West Coast is ready to bring that energy directly to the purple courts of the Indian Wells Tennis Garden. Every opponent who has to face her in that environment will understand what Coco Gauff understood in Dubai when she turned to the stands after winning and acknowledged the Filipino crowd, because even after that 6-0, 6-2 scoreline, the energy those fans created was something Gauff herself could not ignore. The BNP Paribas Open runs from March 4th through March 15th. The main draw is set. The fans are booked. The sections are reserved. The community is organized. And Alex Eala, fresh from Nike headquarters with her portrait on the most famous athletic brand wall in the world, ranked number 31 and seeded for the first time at a WTA 1000 event, is about to walk onto those courts and write another chapter of a story that is still only in its opening pages. The 5th Grand Slam has hosted some of the greatest moments in the history of professional tennis. Federer won there 5 times. Serena Williams dominated that dessert for years. Legends have been made on those courts. But none of those legends ever arrived with 2 million Filipino Americans mobilizing in the surrounding counties, or with Nike hanging their portrait in Oregon alongside the all-time greats, or with secondary market tickets going for double face value because a single community decided that this was their moment too. California is not ready. But honestly, neither is the rest of the tennis world. Eala is coming, and she is bringing the whole Philippines with her. If you are feeling this story the way we are feeling this story, drop a comment below right now. Tell us how far you think Eala goes at Indian Wells. Tell us if you have tickets, if you are going, if you are watching from the other side of the world at 3 in the morning because you refuse to miss a single point. Hit that like button if you believe she makes the quarterfinals. Subscribe to this channel because this is just the beginning. The Miami Open comes immediately after Indian Wells, and that is where she made history last year. We will be covering every single step of this journey, every match, every moment, every roar from those Filipino fans echoing across the California desert. You do not want to miss what comes next. Subscribe. Share this video with your kababayan. And let the whole world know, Eala is here, she is seated, she is rested, she is ready, and the fifth